Hello, I'm Craig Otto. Today I'm going to talk about the tool called 6S or 5S plus 1. You may have heard it as. Basically, this is a foundational tool of operational excellence. And if you really start to get into what is it, you'll find that it was actually developed in Japan. And the S's came from the Japanese words here on your left here. And basically what they used it for is it was to keep organized and to keep things clean, but basically what the real value of it is that it helped you improve your productivity because you knew where things were at. You didn't spend time, waste time finding things. Everything was standardized where people could understand how to do it and use whatever it is that you're working with. And it basically helped maintain a world-class environment. And if you get into what the S's are, Siri, which is known in the English language as sort, um, or basically putting things in the right order, or excuse me, sort would be to basically go through your items and determine what is not necessary and what is. So it's not exactly the same. You can see in the translation of the language, Siri was put things in order, and then Satan was proper arrangement. Very close in meaning. That's why in the English language um, we call it sort, and then the next one is to set in order would be the second S. So set in order, a proper arrangement. Um, Say so is clean or cleanliness. Basically, what we do there is we call it shine in the English language, making sure that everything is clean, and it's more along the lines you'll find for preventative maintenance and things like that. But um, the seketsu, which is the purity in their language, for us it's standardized is what we made the fourth S into. And then Shizuki is commitment. And for us, we call that sustainment. So there's your five S's. And then the next S was sort of added after the fact, which is safety, ensuring that no matter what you do, you're always looking for safety. So you can kind of see that translation for the five S's and how that works. The first S again is sorting, and basically what you're doing is removing anything that's unnecessary from the necessary. Because what it does is it just makes things cluttered, and you know it's we've all done it. We've cleaned out our closets and trying to decide what we want to keep and what we don't, and even in the garage, tools that we want to keep. The trouble is you can keep them for that one time you need it, but the trouble is finding it the time you do need it, because chances are, it may not be readily available. So what you really got to do when you're sorting is think about, how much do you use it? Is it worth storing, or is it something that you could get rid of and only buy again if you need it? Um, and then when you're also sorting, you want to kind of take note of what are the things that you use more frequently, what are things you use less frequently, and sort of organize in that way. Um, why do you do this? Basically, it helps you remove waste, and it helps you utilize your space. It frees up space wherever you're working, whether it's in the manufacturing or in your home or at the office. The methods for sorting, I said you should note the frequency that you use something. Obviously, those are the things that you want to have close, um, at arm lengths away, and the things that you use maybe not so much, maybe you keep them on site. Um, and then the things that you don't use very often, keep those off site. Um, and the general rule of thumb is when in doubt, move it out. Don't keep stuff to keep it, because again, it's not likely you'll find it anyways. There is a system for sorting. It's called a blue tag system. Basically, what you do is you go through all the items that you're going through in your office or your home or your manufacturing floor, and you put a blue tag on it. And you write down what it is and what it's used for and the frequency, and document it. And then you create a blue tag sheet where you track all the items that you have, and what you disposition those items, and if you dispose of them. That way you have it all documented. Again, this is just a simple example of a blue tag and what it looks like. You just put that on each of the items that you're sorting. Straightening, basically, once you get rid of what you don't need, what's left you want to straighten so that it's, in a good, easy, accessible, visible way to use it. Things that are used together, try to keep those things together. And a lot of times people use shadow boards, where you have shadows of the tool that you're using so that you know if it's missing or not. And if it's something that's shareable, try to keep it in a central location. Um, why do you do this? Visually, you want to see the required items and anything out of place. And really, you're just trying to save time and reduce your travel distance. Shining, again, it's sort of common sense, but you want to keep things clean. And the reason that really that you want to do that is because dust and dirt and contamination just hides potential problems, not just with health and safety, but um, machines that are dirty. Um, if it was leaking oil, you'd never know because it's dirty. But if you have a machine that's clean, and you keep it clean, and then it leaks oil, now you know something's wrong. So it's more about preventing problems from happening by keeping things clean, and sort of inspecting as you clean, and keep things shined up. Standardizing, which is the fourth S, basically it's the thing that makes the other S's stick together. You want to standardize your process of how you sort, of how you organize and shine, so that it continues on. You know, everyone's familiar with the term spring cleaning. You should never spring clean. It should always be clean. It should be a part of the way you do things. You should have those daily things you do, the weekly things you do, and the monthly things. Um, if you don't do it, then it's not going to sustain. You're wasting your time, and that's the next S, is sustainment. In order to do this, you have to be disciplined, and you have to use the S's every day. And if you have to develop checklists or schedules, have audits, then that's what you got to do. You got to do whatever it takes to keep this sustained, because this is the foundation of continuous improvement. And then the last one is safety. Basically, sometimes when you're getting rid of things or putting things in order, you can unintentionally create safety issues. So you want to make sure that everything you do is safety, cautious, and basically keeping a commitment towards safety. And that is the 6 S's. And basically, the biggest thing is, make it a habit, and then it's not work anymore. Then it's just a part of the way you do business. And so that's the important thing.